Welcome! I'm so glad that you're here, and you're here to see the first video on psychic exercises. So let's talk about the definition of psychic. What is psychic? My goodness, there's so much out there in regards to what people think are psychic. Okay, so the definition of psychic from the dictionary perspective, of course, is one that says it's something relating to or denoting faculties of or phenomena that are apparently unexplainable by natural laws, especially involving telepathy or clairvoyance. Boy, that sounds very mysterious, doesn't it? Well, my definition of psychic is one that says any fact, truth, or knowing that comes to a person in ways that cannot be stated as received through the five physical senses or current state of consciousness, that is when it's considered psychic. A psychic phenomena. You can't explain how you knew when your phone rang that it would be your mother, father, or boyfriend or girlfriend, right? There's no way to explain that. You can't explain that through the five physical senses, or really your current state of consciousness, because it just came to you, right? Okay. So this knowing that we naturally have, because you can even state experiences in your own life in regards to what I just gave as an example of the telephone ringing, or perhaps just getting a sense that someone's thinking about you and you get an email, or perhaps you're thinking of a deceased loved one and you hear their favorite song about a minute later, and it makes you go, that's interesting. That's just a coincidence, right? That's how we explain it all away. It's just a coincidence. Well, there's no coincidences in life, okay? If you really perceive your life, there are no coincidences. It's all there for a reason, and it does happen. Okay, awesome. So let's talk about the current state of consciousness. Okay, if you have taken any type of science class, you have learned that the brain can go into different states of consciousness, different brainwave activity. Okay, so right now, my brain, because I'm talking to you, trying to discuss with you psychic abilities and brainwave activity, this is on the beta wavelength. Okay, my brain is what they call at a beta wavelength between 13 and 32 hertz. Being alert, normal consciousness, active thinking, conversations, making decisions, solving a problem. This is in the beta frequency brain wave. Then you have the gamma brainwave frequency, which is between 32 and 100 hertz. Okay, it's faster. It's the vibrations of the brain frequencies are faster, which means it's a heightened perception, learning, problem solving tasks. And they can be very fast and measurable on an EEG machine. And so it's interesting because Buddhist monks, though their body may be completely relaxed, they can actually rev up their brain wave frequencies to that gamma frequencies, a heightened perception, where they can get lots of psychic information using their clairvoyant visions, hearing things through their clairaudience psychic sense. So then the next one of the brainwave activity that I want to talk about is your alpha, the alpha frequencies, which is now we're starting to get a little bit lower than the normal conversation, decision making, okay? We are bringing down the brainwave activity. And this is when we are physically and mentally relaxed, perhaps doing yoga, perhaps doing a little bit of meditation, perhaps even doing a little daydreaming. You know, you just kind of let your mind wander, lowering everything, your physical activity and your brain activity. And this is a state in which artists can be very creative, writers, painters, you know, you're relaxing and you're kind of getting into that creative state of mind. Then a little bit lower from the alpha is the theta frequency, which is between 4 and 8 hertz, much lower, much slower. Again, it's creativity. It can be insight. It could be dreams, reduced consciousness, kind of like right before going to sleep. And then definitely when you meditate, you go into a theta brainwave frequency because you really slow down those thoughts, that brain activity. And that's where you want to be to really start to rev up the psychic senses. And then the last one that we know of at this point in time, I'm sure there's different levels in between, as there always are. Numbers go on for infinity, and I'm sure brainwave activities, there's all sorts of different levels than the ones that science basically says at this point in time. But the one when you're really asleep, that's your delta. That's your delta brain frequency between 0.5 and 4 hertz. You're asleep, you're dreaming, and these are the slowest of all the brain waves and are the strongest when we are enjoying restorative sleep in a dreamless state. So it's very important that you get your sleep as well, because you are restoring the physical body when you are sleeping. So where do you want to be when you are tapping into your psychic abilities? Okay, it's between the alpha and the theta, between these two. And then if you go a little bit deeper, that's kind of something different. That's when you can go into channeling, okay, which is a whole different topic, which we can talk about later. But we're talking about really tuning in and using your psychic senses in regards to assessing your environment, assessing that new person that you just met, you know, and then knowing really without knowing much about this person. And it's a whole total package, you know. You've got your psychologists who say, well, psychics, you know, they do the cold reading and they assess the person through the way they look and their facial features. Absolutely, that's a part of it. We are all energy. Energy is never creative, nor is it destroyed, it's transformed. So we are all energy, we all vibrate, we all create who we are physically, right? The color of the hair, of course, comes from genetics and your parents, but we can color it, right? We can change the color of our hair. We can wear it a certain way according to the way our personal frequency is set. It's who we are. And so the tone of our voice, the way we use words, our body language, of course, all incorporates into this whole psychic assessing, okay? And it comes up from your subconscious because your subconscious taps into your psychic senses. So the way I like to look at this is you have your 5 senses: sight, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling. And then along with that, there's like an extra layer, okay? Very subtle frequencies that vibrate at a higher rate, such as seeing, which is clairvoyance. clear hearing, which is your clairaudience, okay? Clear sentience is that heightened sense of feeling. I'm feeling something. I'm feeling something in this room. Was there an argument in here? And there's 2 people or 3 people in the room, and they just had an argument, and they're all kind of, sitting back and stewing about it a little bit, but there's no indication to you whatsoever that they were having this very strong vibrational discussion or argument. But as you walk into the room, open and receptive the way that we are, and all of a sudden something tells you, what went on in this room? Something going on in this room? Now, we are not going to say that out loud. This is something that we think about, right? We think about this in the back of our mind. It's very spontaneous. It just happens. People who are a little bit more trained and aware of this, they will hear it. They will sense, something's going on here. Claircognizance is clear knowing. You know something's going to happen, or you again have a sense of coming into that room and sensing that something happened. And then sometimes you may be talking about a loved one and then get a taste in your mouth. That's called clairgustance. It's like, oh my gosh, we're sitting here talking about grandma and her famous apple pie, and all of a sudden I'm getting the taste of apple pie in my mouth. Yes, it's a combination of that memory. Yes, it's stimulating parts of your brain, but it's also stimulating your psychic senses as well. You have to start to understand this is all incorporated within ourselves, okay? It's not separated. The non-physical world, the metaphysical world, is incorporated with our physical world. And if you know anything about quantum science, you'll start to understand this, okay? I'm not going to go too much further into that. That's, again, a whole different topic. Many books that can help you with that topic as well. So, how do you access your psychic senses? How do you get them awakened? Okay. It's by relaxing the body and allowing them to start to peak a little bit and come forth through meditation and or through that dreamy state that you can go into in daydreaming. And so what I teach is some breathing exercises, okay? So do this along with me. We're going to inhale through our nose, and we're going to hold it for 5 seconds. And as you hold it for 5 seconds, just talk to your body and say, now we're going to relax. And then we're going to exhale out the mouth for 5 seconds, okay? Here we go. So inhale, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And as you do this over and over again, you are training your body. You could probably see it. I'm feeling it already. You train your body to respond to the breathing, to relax. Just like a basketball player, football player, first time getting on that bicycle or driving, you have to train the muscles to understand what you're doing. And then when you train them, it becomes automatic. It becomes so easy to make that dunk shot in the basketball hoop. It becomes so easy with that golf swing that you've practiced over and over again. The body and the mind are connected. Okay? So again, let's do this again. Inhale through the nose. And hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. Very good. Very good. Do you feel your body relaxing? Let's do this again. Inhale through your nose and hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Very good. Very good. And so now that your body is relaxed, I want you to close your mind and we're going to do a little clairvoyant exercise. You are going to see an image in your mind's eye, which is another way of explaining a clairvoyant vision, okay? So as you continue to breathe deeply and relaxing the body, now with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine an orange. See that orange. See how big it is. See the texture and the bumps and imperfections on that orange. And now we're going to bring in some clairsentience. Hold that orange in your hand. Can you feel the sensation of the orange in your hand, in your mind's activity? So now you're holding this orange. Take your other hand and feel the skin of that orange. Feel those bumps. Feel how firm that orange is. And now with your fingernails, dig into that orange and rip it open. Feeling the juice of the orange running down your fingers and your hand. Now bring that orange up to your nose. Can you smell that orange? Now, go ahead and taste it. Taste that orange. And in response to that is your own physical body responding with a little bit of extra saliva in your mouth, right? Very good. Very good. Now open your eyes. How did that work for you? You were stimulating your psychic senses. Yeah, you were doing it. Okay, so now let's do some exercises and I'm going to work with you on this one, all right? People work differently, okay? One basketball player is going to throw the ball into the hoop in a different, unique way than somebody else is going to be doing it, right? Because we're all unique people. We do things differently, which makes the world a wonderful place. Can you imagine if we were all the same? Ugh, that would be boring. Yeah? Okay, so first exercise that we're going to do, okay, I've got a bamboo box here. It's got a little swivel lid on the top, and in this bamboo box, I have a dice. Okay, just a normal little dice. Numbers 1 through 6. There's nothing special about this dice whatsoever. And in fact, you can do this exercise by yourself at home as well. Now, the goal is here for you to use your mind's eye, your mind's vision clairvoyantly, okay? As well as it's great to see the right number on the dice. So I'm going to shake this, okay? Oh, I forgot to ask you. Have a pen and paper nearby so you can write down your clairvoyant and psychic answers, okay? So, or if you can just remember it, that's fine as well. So here we go. First of all, you're going to take a couple deep breaths again. So you're just kind of clearing the slate, relaxing the body, allowing the mind, your psychic senses to peak a little bit, waking up. Again, breathe in and exhale. Very nice. Okay, now I'm going to shake up this bamboo box. And when I stop, I want you to see in your mind eye the dice and the number that's facing up towards the lid. Okay, it's going to be facing up. So now I'm going to shake it. Okay, so here we go. Again, take a deep breath. And exhale. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Okay. Now see that dice in your mind's vision. And see the little black dots on that dice that represent a number, and write it down. Don't second guess yourself. Try to write down the very first one, because what happens is after you write down the first number, then your current consciousness is a little bit more awakened, and it's going to want to guess. We don't want to guess. We're not guessing here. We want you to see the dice in your mind's eye with the little black dots that represent the number. Okay? So, and the goal is to see the dice, okay, and the black dots. If you get the number right, that's fantastic, okay? But if you're a beginner to all of this, then the goal is to really focus in on seeing that dice in your mind's eye, okay? So let's go. Here we go. What is that number? Ready? The number is 5. The number is 5. Did you see it? Did you write it down? That's awesome. Yeah? Okay, here we go again. Ready? One more time. Close the lid. All right, here we go. Picking it up. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. Now write down, when you're ready, the number that you see on top of the dice. Okay, ready? Here we go. Oops. There we go. 2. The number was 2. Did you see it? Yeah? Good. That's great. Awesome. All right. So that's one way that you can practice. Now, there's another way that I like to do. Take different colored pieces of paper, just basic colors, like red, green, yellow, blue. Okay? I have taken a colored piece of paper and I have put it in this envelope. Okay? Red, green, yellow, or blue. Yes. So, same thing. Most of us work with colors. We know kind of what red is like, what red might feel like, what green might feel like, yellow and blue. For me, definitely for green, I pick up, plants or something like that. So green to me feels like earth, plants, that sort of thing. So again, each person works differently. Okay, so please do not judge yourself from your friend who says they're psychic and this is the way they do it, so therefore you need to do it. Nope, nope, nope. Don't listen to them because you are very unique unto yourself. Okay, so here we go. Take a couple deep breaths. We're just erasing that chalkboard in our mind, allowing us to be open and receptive to the color paper in this envelope. Go ahead and focus. Now, some of you may get a clairvoyant vision of the color. Some of you may get a clairvoyant vision of the color and a clairsentience feeling of the color as well. Remember, everything works together, just like your 5 physical senses. They work together. Okay. So write down what you get psychically is the color paper that's in the envelope. Okay, here we go. Red. The color red. Did you get it? I know some of you did. That's fantastic. Good job. And then try to remember, how did that come to you? Did it just pop into your mind? Sometimes people get a clairvoyant vision of just the word red, R-E-D. Boom, there it is. Some of you get the clairvoyant image of the color, and then again with an extra layer of feeling of red. I felt it to be red. Okay? And again, you can do this as well. You can get several different colored pieces of paper, put them in an envelope, and just shuffle them all up, or have a friend do it for you, your spouse or whoever, and get them ready for you. Or perhaps they can hold them up for you. Anyway, many different ways to do this. All right, so let's go on to the next envelope. Here we go. Again, this is a colored piece of paper in this envelope. Take a few deep breaths. Again, you're erasing the chalkboard in your mind. Take a couple of deep breaths. Now, focus on the envelope. In your mind's eye, clairvoyantly see the color and or feel the color. And or sometimes, if you're very receptive, you may get an image of what that color would represent. Okay? Go ahead and jot that down. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Let's find out what is the color on this paper. Green. Green. Again, did you either see the word green? You could have actually seen in your mind's eye the color green. You could even have perhaps seen a plant. I was seeing a plant. That's definitely what green represents to me. Grass, plants, nature, healing. Wonderful. Good job. Good job. And again, don't judge yourself whatsoever. That is the worst thing that you can do to yourself. Learning how to do anything. Don't judge yourself. Okay, I get it. Those athletes out there putting that ball in that hoop, it looks so easy, right? That race car driver going that fast and whipping around the racetrack, that looks so easy, right? I can do that just like that. Well, in reality, those athletes practice and practice hours and hours for months and years to get to the proficiency that they have. And we tend to forget that, right? So please don't judge yourself whatsoever. That is the worst thing to do when learning a new skill. And this is really what it is. It's learning a new skill because you already have the ability. You have the ability. You use your psychic senses day in and day out. We just don't appreciate them for what they can do for us. Okay, so now we're going to step it up a little bit. We're going to step it up. This time we're going to work on letters, okay? We worked on numbers. We worked on colors. Now we're going to work on letters. So take a deep breath, and I kind of want you to see the alphabet in your mind's eye, just the basic alphabet. You know what just came to me? When I was in kindergarten. I was a kindergarten, and as a teacher, I was a kindergarten teacher, and I remember seeing on top of the chalkboard the alphabet. I don't know if they still do that these days, but the teacher had the alphabet, the big letters up there, right? Okay, so if that will help you, that's great. But there is a word written on a card in this envelope. Now, the ultimate goal would be to get the whole word, okay? But the real goal here for you is to get a letter, just one letter, out of that word that's in this envelope. Okay, here we go. And if it helps you, if you can do it, scan that alphabet in your mind's eye, and if a letter jumps out at you, write that letter down on your piece of paper. Again, if you get a letter that just comes forward, boom, you see it in your mind's eye, write it down. Okay? Now, of course, don't write down the whole alphabet because that's not the goal here. Okay? I don't have the whole alphabet written on this card. I want you to surprise yourself in what you can do here. Okay? So, hopefully you have gotten the letters written down. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, cat. C-A-T. Did you get one of those letters? I certainly hope so. That would be fabulous. Or did you, for some reason, actually see a cat in your mind. That's excellent. That means your subconscious mind picked up the word cat and brought forth to you a vision clairvoyantly of a cat. The psychic senses work like dreams, okay? Especially clairvoyance. Clairvoyance are your visions. And what really relates to that is your dreams, the visions and the things that you see in your dreams. That's a clairvoyant vision. That's what comes to you in your consciousness as it bubbles up from your subconscious. Your conscious mind then interprets that in a way that you can therefore speak out loud or write down. Okay, so there's a lot of different steps happening here. Okay, not going to get into the teeny tiny details, but basically what's happening is as we relax the body, relax the mind a little bit, heightening our psychic senses, our subconscious mind, that really through science that has studied the subconscious mind is constantly awake. It's working and scanning the environment, working with your psychic senses to talk to the body in your conscious state of mind to bring forth those intuitive feelings, that intuitive knowing. And that's kind of the process of how it works. Okay? Great. I hope you got one of these letters, or perhaps maybe an image of a cat. That works too. Okay? That would be fantastic. All right. So let's do another word. Are you ready? Are you getting tired? I hope not, because this can get a little exhausting because you are using your psychic muscles, so to speak, in a different way than you normally do. Okay? All right, next envelope. Again, it's a word, and we're focusing on the letters. What are some of the letters in this word in the envelope? And perhaps you can actually visualize in your mind's eye perhaps yourself writing down a letter. Or if it works for you, okay? And this is a little extra layer here of working with your psychic senses, is a process called automatic writing, okay? You can actually just put your pen in your hand and put it on the paper, and as you breathe and relax, you can say, write the letter. And perhaps your pencil will just write a letter. That's automatic writing. And that's a whole nother topic in and of itself. Lots of neat stuff with his psychic abilities, which you have. Absolutely. Okay. So, do you have the letter? Did you write it down? A letter? 2 letters? 3 or 4? Okay, here we go. What is this word? Pizza. Pizza. Okay, awesome. All right, so you can do that yourself as well. 3x5 cards, magic marker, write it down, have a friend put it in envelopes, shuffle them all up, and help you work with those. Okay, next. How you doing? Pretty good? I think you're doing great. Hang in there, okay? Hang in there. Next is going to be an envelope with an image, a picture of anything, really, okay? So I want you to, and write this down on your piece of paper, there's going to be some things that I want you to kind of focus on to help you with getting this this image in this envelope, okay? So focus on color. Focus on perhaps a shape. Focus on perhaps maybe an image that just comes to you. But take a few moments again. We're going to wipe the slate clean by taking a couple deep breaths. And then again, you're going to focus on color, shape, perhaps an image. If you can draw it down, you can do that as well. But the goal here is to get as much descriptive messages, information, and write it down for the image in this envelope. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath. Again, focus on color, shape, maybe an image just popped in. Write it down or draw a picture. Don't judge what you get. We're just having fun, okay? You are getting used to what it feels like to use your psychic senses. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? I am. I'm kind of excited. A flower. Did you perhaps get the color blue? There's a blue background. Did you perhaps get the color yellow? Maybe you got the shape of a triangle or a circle. Do you see the circle there? And the triangle that looks like the petal? And did perhaps you saw the color green for the stem? Remember, this clairvoyant visions come to you like in dreams. That's the best way for me to explain it to you. They just float in like a dream. It's right there for you. Okay? Awesome. Let's do one more. Okay? Hang in there with me. You're doing great. Does your brain kind of feel like, what? All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to clear that slate. Take a deep breath. And exhale. And take a deep breath. And exhale. All right, here's the envelope. Now, you can focus in psychically into the envelope. You're just going in. Imagine your energy, your psychic senses just kind of coming through and reaching the envelope. Or, if it works best for you, stare at the envelope and perhaps you'll get something that way. You'll see a color, you might see shapes, you might see the image. Again, we all work differently. There's no correct way of doing this, okay? Again, focus on color, shape, feeling it. Can you feel what this might be? Go ahead and jot that down on your piece of paper. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. Can you see that? It's a mountain. It's a mountain with the sun. So there's clouds and a blue sky and a mountain with what looks like some grass on there as well. Awesome. Good job. Great job. You did fantastic. You really did. And I will have another video with more of these challenges for you to practice. Now, if you really want to get involved, then join my Facebook page called Spiritual Psychic Mediumship Group. It's on Facebook. Just join the group. It's a closed group, so you'll have to answer some questions because I want people, like-minded people, to join the group, to work together, to support one another on their journey to learning more about their own psychic abilities, as well as mediumship abilities. And that's another topic that I have some videos on here on my YouTube channel in regards to speaking with your loved ones who have transitioned, okay? They are very much alive. Yes, they are. Okay. So keep practicing and through your daily life, kind of take the moments and step back when something happens and it's not through the regular five senses that you come to know an answer. Then I ask you, please think, where did that come from? Where did that knowing come from? Okay? So, thank you so much for joining me, and we will have another video for you to have fun with. Please leave comments. Tell me how it went with you. Maybe even give me some of your experiences here with this first video. I love to hear what you have to say, okay? Thanks so much, and we'll talk later. Bye.